Welcome back to Talladega, where Martin Truex Jr. is the leader. We are inside of 15 laps to go, working the 4th caution of the day for a multi-car crash in the tri-oval. Jeannie?
And standing by Mike Bliss. I guess for you it was just wrong place, wrong time. You're telling me you just saw smoke, and then before you know it, you're standing here.
Yeah, we, the Rockwell at Mason Chevrolet was good, just like everybody else. We could go to the front, go to the rear, and go back to the front. But I was just kind of, you knew it was going to start getting hairy because it was time to go, and we were starting to move up. And I saw coming through the tri-oval smoke, and a car turned, and I let off the gas, and I got hit in the rear. And you just, the whole race has been pretty clean. We were all just kind of behaving, and then it was time to go, and you kind of didn't expect it, but you're hoping it wouldn't happen, but it happened.
Disappointing finish, but I'm glad to see you're doing okay.
All right, thanks.
Well, Jeannie, there was reason not to expect it. We've had several looks at the different replays trying to find the cause of this incident, Darrell.
If you watch this car right down here at the bottom of the screen, this purple car, when we come through the tri-oval, you see these guys back here 1, 2, 3 wide already. Mike Wallace is starting to say, okay, I got this guy down here in my way, and the hole is closing. As this car comes up, Mike runs out of room, and he gets into the side of Biffle, bounces off of Biffle into the purple car, and that's what caused the wreck.
That's Jimmy Kitchens, who was 5 laps down at the time, trying to hold the bottom of the racetrack down on the inside, which is where the lap cars are supposed to be, but not getting quite far enough to the inside. And what a mess. Interested spectator up here joining us in the booth after a trip next door with the NASCAR folks is Jimmy Spencer.
It's only fair. I got Larry and Jeff. They gang up on me all the time. I need a driver buddy. I got a driver buddy.
I'm here, DW. You know that. I've watched so many times. Hammond, he never lets you go. And this guy picks on you every time he can. Mike, you're the only guy. You try to keep peace. I know that.
Well, you know what's fun about picking on Hammond is normally you don't even know we're picking on him. So.
I won't go there.
But Jimmy, it's good to see you back. You ran the Daytona 500 and sat at home, watched us on Fox for a few weeks, but now you're back in that 4-car.
Yeah, and you guys do a great job. I will say that sitting home watching it, but it is. It's good to be back with Morgan McClure. We got a pretty good car for tomorrow, and we don't have a sponsor yet. We're trying to find a sponsor, but we didn't qualify quite as well as we wanted to, top 25, which isn't too bad. The car's running really good in the draft, and what a race today. I mean, incredible.
I like this aero package. Now, you've driven it more than I have, but this seemed to be the best package. I'd like to see this moved over to the Cup cars. What do you think?
Darrell, watching them today, racing this morning in happy hour and stuff, a lot of guys are forcing the issue, forcing to cut each other off. Every one of us has to do what we have to do to try to stay ahead of somebody.
And Jimmy, the tri-oval, has this become the new danger spot here?
Well, like Darrell and I were talking before, that is the worst part on this racetrack because the car gets real loose, Mike. The car gets real free. And like he said, Mike Wallace was just trying to give enough room, and I blame the 39 car. I mean, he should have been down. He's laps down. He should say, guys, race, race. And that's what caused that accident. That's what marred this race. Luckily, nobody got hurt. We're going to still see a great finish. But all in all, I think this package, Darrell, is awesome. I think that NASCAR needs to look at this package for the Cup side.
I agree.
All right, we're going to get back under the green flag in just a bit here. Let's go back down to Chris and Jeff.
All right, thanks. Jimmy Spencer starts 23rd tomorrow. You'll see it on Fox. He's won a dozen Busch Series races in his career.
And as D-Dub likes to say, oh, by the way, I heard what you said. And Jimmy, I appreciate what you said.
Yes, Jimmy said he knows you, so he won't pick on
That's
you.
Right.
All right, let's take a look with about a dozen laps to go here. So we won't have a single file restart as we stand at the moment. Martin Truex Jr. with his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. as we look at the board, currently 4th.
Well, a little bit like we saw in that last restart, lap down cars could be a factor as they go back to green this next time by. They've got to be mindful of that. Hopefully those lap down cars will get out of the way and let these leaders kind of finish it. But during the course of that accident right there, I noticed something that Darrell said is very hard to do was Paul Menard. I mean, he cranked that car of his dead left whenever that accident came. And we see right here, we see Brian Patty trying to cut a deal, looks like with the 55 guys as far as his finish is concerned. And they both know that they need to get hooked up if they want to win this race.
Yeah, let's check in with Dick Bergman on the team of Truex and Jr.
Yeah, they're back on the radio again, Chris. Just sort of going back and forth again. Junior said he's probably not going to show up for work on Monday because he's going to have to go get a new pair of eyeglasses. He's been squinting all day. Truex wanted to say thanks for inviting him along. He's had a really fun time today. But perhaps most important in all of that, Earnhardt Jr. told Truex, don't let anybody get by your quarter panel. If they get close to your panel, they can get a run on you. So just get out of the way. Don't let them do that. So there's the master teaching the freshman.
All right, Dick, 26 cars will be on the lead lap when we go back to green. It'll be a double file restart as they go up in turn number 3. Getting set for the restart this time. Here's our DuPont Car Care race summary. 21 lead changes among 11 drivers. That's official changes at the start-finish line. 4 cautions, 419 laps. We're about to settle this one.
What they're talking about is side drafting. You get a side draft off of that car when you get alongside of it. And I tell you, Dale Jr. and his dad were the first people that I ever heard talk about side drafting. I think front to rear, but not the side. Matt, what you got?
Well, DW down in the 55 pit, Robbie Gordon third. He was third at Daytona. Brian Patty was down in the 55 pit talking to Bob Temple and the guys, and they had a long discussion and said, we will play if the 87 gets to us.
Yeah, it's just so hard when you got this many cars up there battling for the lead to make any deals. If you've only got 4 or 5, maybe you can.
Green flag. 11 to go. Tim Fedowa taken for a precautionary checkup to a local hospital. Everyone else treated and released. As Truex, Leffler, Gordon, Earnhardt Jr., and Kenny Wallace, the front 5. Presley, the 47, up there trying the outside on Hornaday. Here come the leaders.
See, Kenny Wallace in the 23, Joe Nemechek in 87. They were 3 wide off turn 2. They had to go by the lap car, the white car, Tina Gordon in the 10. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. lost a lot of ground to that front 3 as he had to go around or over in turn 1.
3 wide behind you.
But as we've seen all day, there are some cars that they time it right. They're going to be at the front. That's going to be the 55, the 23, probably the 81 and the 8.
But Darrell, you've mentioned this whole race, and I know Jimmy knows better as well you do. I think Martin's best friend, as we see Mike Harmon in 24 against the wall. We don't have caution yet.
And the wall over there on
just
turn
think
4.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it did fly right over the leader, Martin Truex.
And I was going to talk about this car. This has Davey Allison's name on the side of it. They have the Davey Allison Memorial over at BIR tonight.
Some debris or something. Just come down pit road here.
That's Birmingham International Raceway,
right
about 45 minutes west of here. Johnny Benson out of the race. Steve is with him.
And Mike, Johnny just got out of the car. A lot of damage to that race car. What happened, Johnny?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm going to look. Somebody got wrecked on the tri-oval there and got spun out. And, you know, eventually it was going to happen. I was kind of hoping it didn't happen that late in the race. But Mickasuki dodged us, so we had a really bad overheating problem at the beginning. Got saved by the 1 caution. Car was good. We just running a little hot and just wrong place.
Thanks, Johnny.
Stacy Compton will be the first car 1 lap down. He'll get the free pass. Mike Harmon was a lead lap car. He was having the best day of his season so far before he got up into the wall. The Quality Plus Services Chevy.
I think Mike lives right here near Alabama somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he actually lives in Mooresville now, but his hometown is here, Birmingport, right outside of Birmingham.
Oh, you're from here, aren't you?
Yep, I was raised there at BIR.
We're going to get this restarted. There's 10 laps to go right now. 5th caution of the day, but they will restart this race.
Our next restart will be a single file restart, a down finger, lead lap cars only to the front.
Talking about BIR, we used to go there and race. When somebody get mad at you, they'd say, I'm going to put you in the hog barn. The hog barn was out the end of the first turn down there. It was at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
That's a lot different from being sent to the Oval Office.
Oh, yeah. But Darrell, you raced there, pretty unique racetrack. If you could get around Birmingham, you could get around about anywhere.
Donnie, Bobby, Neil, Red, all of them, that's where they all got their started. Smut Means, Alton Jones.
And congratulations to Red Farmer. Inducted this weekend into the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, which for a short track dirt track driver, that's a heck of an accomplishment.
72 years old. I was over last night at the dirt track, watched him race Kenny Schrader and Tony Stewart. And the old rascal put a heck of a show on, led for the longest time and finished second. I think Tony beat him. But 72, Darrell, and still racing and looks good.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't act like he's 72. I can tell you that.
The thing about it, he looks the same today as he did about 30 years ago when I was sitting in the grandstands at Birmingham.
He's helped so many people. So many people through his career.
This is not BIR. This is the Talladega short track right across the street from the big Superspeedway where the World of Outlaws run tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, Red Farmer never bought a new piece of sheet metal in his life. He had the most beat up race cars I ever saw, but boy, would they run.
But that number, F97.
Yep.
He was the leader of the Alabama gang. Along came Donnie and Bobby Allison, and later Bobby's protege Neil Bonnet. And then when Davey Allison started driving, Bobby enlisted Red as Davey's mentor for the longest time.
And of course, not to bring up anything really bad, but Red Farmer was in that helicopter that day when Davey crashed here at Talladega, and of course Red did survive it.